Support for Radio Friends comes from Columbia Healthy Smiles, the dental office of husband and wife team Dr. Batson and Dr. Abe, offering comprehensive and customized care to patients of all ages. Learn more by calling 573-721-9039 or online at www.columbiahealthysmiles.com. Good morning and welcome to Radio Friends on this Wednesday, July the 29th. And I've got somebody here I haven't seen for a while in person, but I know our listeners and our viewers are very familiar with him. They love you. CHRIS GERVINO.
Well, hello. How are you, Paul?
Good to hear you. And Chris, that voice, it's still the same.
Well, I hope so. And that's what I've heard. As you get older, a lot of things change, but the voice pretty much stays the same.
The voice stays the same. Yeah. CHRIS GERVINO recently retired from KOMU after how many years, Chris?
Only 32, Paul. I didn't have the 40-year run that you did. I mean, 32, you were way up there, but 32 is pretty good, hopefully.
That's a long time.
Yeah, and not all at Channel 8, in fairness. I must clarify. I was at KMIZ for a little more than 11 years.
You were at 8 for 20 years, right?
Yeah, yep. I was into my 21st year, so time flies when you're having fun.
Yeah. So what made you decide that you wanted to just hang it up right now?
Yeah, I just, I'd been thinking about it a lot. I do a lot of thinking, believe it or not. And my wife sometimes says I overthink things, but I'm always thinking about things and looking ahead. And I loved what I did and loved, sportscasting. And I wouldn't have done anything differently. But, the years added up. I got married later in life, well into my 40s, and same for my wife. And we work completely opposite hours. She works what I would call normal hours during the day. I work, of course, late at night. So she gets up at 6 a.m. to go to work. I get home from work after 11 p.m. So I'd say we were under the same roof at similar times, but at least one of us was usually asleep.
Yeah.
So, and I'm lucky, Paul, because I still get to continue on the Tiger Radio Network on the football and basketball broadcast, assuming the games come back. I trust they will eventually. And that really does keep me busy, and I enjoy that, and it's invigorating because, every game is different. And again, I mean, 32 years, I'm happy with it. It just seemed like a good time. And gosh, now with the virus lingering, it's like, man, maybe it was a really good time. It's a good breaking point.
And Chris, I know this is a fact. People love you. You have you're one of those unique people that have a personality that comes across on the air as being very sincere and really love what you're doing. And people can tell that. When you're watching it on camera, it shows. There's that sparkle in your eyes. And I'm looking at you right now, and even though we're 7.5 feet apart there, you got that sparkle in your eyes. And the people in Central Missouri will never forget you. They'll never forget you.
Thank you, and likewise, and that means a lot coming from you. I'm lucky. I really have enjoyed what I've done, and you've always been so kind to me. In fact, I told you, somebody mentioned after I retired, they said, "My gosh, you did that a long time. You're like Paul Pepper." And I said, well, I'm not quite to his run of 40 years, but I took it as a great compliment because of your success and run in local television. And I just want to thank you. Ever since I was a student, because you are older than me, Paul.
Oh,
you were
much
always,
older than you. How old are you?
Always so kind to me at the Channel 8. I'm 54.
Oh, my goodness.
I don't look a day over 53, do I?
No, and I'll be 75.
Holy smokes. Is that right?
You almost said something else.
No, that's breaking news. Paul Pepper's almost 75.
Yeah, I'm 74. I'll be 75 this fall.
Like a fine wine, you keep getting better with age, Paul.
but
you like a glass of wine, don't you?
I like it.
Yeah,
I have a glass of wine every night. Yeah. I think that keeps you going, having a glass of wine.
Probably doesn't hurt. In moderation, of course.
Right. Of course, in moderation. Of course. But the thing is, you were doing what you love, but then you realize now with us, ours came to an end a little bit differently than yours did with Pepper and Friend. But I'll tell you what, life has been so much better than I could have ever imagined, and I wish the very same for you, Chris. Retirement is pretty nice. It's pretty nice, especially the fact you're still going to be able to keep your hands in it a little bit.
Well, I'm very fortunate, and I really thank God for that. I've been so blessed and fortunate, and I certainly think I'm making the right decision. A few weeks in, I have absolutely no regrets. And again, I'll be around and be involved on the radio. And I know you would agree. I think the radio side of things is really fun. There's a little more freedom there, right, than we might have on television sometimes. So I just want to thank you again for your kindness. You've been so nice to me.
So when your broadcasts, then, when will they be taking place?
Well, if there's a football season, and my crystal ball's kind of cloudy these days, as a lot of ours are.
What are they going to do?
Well, we should find out here pretty soon as we visit in the later portion of July. The SEC is supposed to make a determination by the end of the month, so that's coming really quickly here. It's a very timely topic, and because the season is supposed to kick off for football, for example, September 5th, and the guys have to train and get ready. You don't just show up and play football games. So I really have no idea what they're going to do. Early this summer, I felt pretty confident they're going to play. They brought the guys back for practice. Things were going well, but now you see across the country some little spikes at various places, and obviously you don't just scrimmage yourselves. You have to play other teams, and there's travel. So a lot to be determined here as time's running out.
Right. So if they don't do, and they may have, we're recording this on July 21st, and it's airing on the 29th of July. The decision could have been made by the time this actually hits on the air.
Probably right around, as people are watching now, we'll know, because they really thought by the end of the month. So certainly by July 31st, I think we'll have an idea.
So you will be doing all of the football games?
Football,
what about
and the
basketball?
Men's basketball broadcast. Yeah, and I took that responsibility on a few years ago on a regular basis. So I'm lucky I get to do all the Mizzou football games and basketball games with Mike Kelly on the radio, and it's enjoyable. As you know, I went to school here and even graduated. I have the diploma, whether or not they admit it. I think they might. So it's been great. Never thought I'd stay around as long as I did, but I just got so busy and involved, and the next thing you know, the years add up.
But Central Missouri is a good place to stay around.
It's a great place. It's a great place. I came up here from Tulsa, Oklahoma for school. Never necessarily thought I would stay. Was lucky to get a job the summer after graduation. I've never left.
Right.
It's been wonderful, and the people have been so good to me.
Yeah. Well, the same thing. I came in 1969. And
boy, you're old.
Yes, I am. I came in 1969, and I thought I'd stay at KOMU maybe for a year or two, and then I'd go off to the big time. But you know what? There's nothing better than living in a town and an area like Central Missouri.
Well, where you're loved and appreciated. And again, you have been very much that. For 40 years is an incredible run, folks. This guy's a local legend. So when somebody said that I was at Channel 8 and around and had a TV career almost like Paul Peppers, I said, I'll take that and run, because he is the guy that so many people have admired and watched for many years.
Thank you, Chris. That's very nice of you to say. And I would like for you to come back. You know what an avid sports fan I am.
Well, you really are. You always have been. You know your sports. I should do it with a caveat. If there are games, I'll come back, because if not, I don't know what we'll talk about.
We'll talk about the old days.
The old days.
Sports.
Okay, we could reminisce about the days at Channel 8.
Chris Gervino, thank you so much for coming by. We're out of time. We could talk another half hour or so.
We could. Thank you.
But before you leave, we'll get another date booked for you
All
here.
right.
Okay?
It would be my pleasure.
Yes. If there's something you'd like to hear or see, drop me an email, pepperp@missouri.edu. And my friend Chris Gervino, thank you for coming by.
Thank you,
today.
Paul.
Bye-bye.